mean, we're seeing extreme volatility, especially in the US. So what is your current take on the market?
Well, it used to be extreme volatility. It's now just life. I feel like the last couple of years, this is all we've experienced. But we're in a complicated space where a number of very big variables are playing out, and we're not sure how they're gonna pass through to the real economy and to asset prices and the like. And the obvious one is the Fed winding up the balance sheet, hiking interest rates, how aggressively they hike it. That combined with the geopolitics of the tragedy playing out in Ukraine, any contagion effects from that, and how the war continues, or spreads, and then the latest and more challenging thing to price is the knock-on effects from China's zero COVID policy and the extreme lockdown of Shanghai, Shenzhen, and a couple other cities, how that plays out. Are they going to continue with this incredibly onerous economic policy? Although, on the one hand, protecting of lives is very important. On the other hand, at what point is the economic cost too high? And arguably, you could see on a citizen level the panic buying that's happening in China from the knock-on effect. So all of these things are mixing together to create an incredibly complicated environment globally to price. And I'll give you an example of this. Russia is a major commodity exporter. The embargoes in Russia saw a huge ramp up in commodity prices, particularly key ones, for example, palladium coming out of Russia. But then the lockdowns out of Shanghai, as a huge manufacturing hub, has seen, in fact, the complete opposite. It's seen a sell-off in those commodity prices. So what we're experiencing on the tail end is really extreme conditions, and how one prices that and what the lingering effects are is much harder to value as a longer term investor. As traders, perhaps this volatility is fantastic. Just take intraday positions and hopefully you pick the right ones. But as a long term investor, how do you value this? It starts to become a much more challenging thing.